Look at Brian, new hat, same task. I tried to spin it like the San Diego Comic-Con thing. It just didn't work. Didn't work.
No, not quite. No, I'm not as cool in any way.
But welcome to Z&B Live Unfiltered. I just now realized you're wearing a Banjo-Kazooie shirt?
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
What I've realized about this hat, it's very circumstantial. I can't wear it with just anything. So I need to find specific clothing to go with it. And it was either this or like a red Mario shirt that's like a half size too small. So I got to find something to go with this. This doesn't, but it's closer than the Mario shirt. So I don't know.
Wait, you have a half Mario shirt? I'm sorry, what?
It's a half size too small.
Oh,
so like it's a 3X, but like, it fits like a,
I was hoping we get like a cutoff. Like we need a cutoff Mario shirt. So we can see Brian in all of his glory.
That is tier 6 on the Pro Gamers Guide fan club.
And the Pro Gamers Guide fan club, which I feel like I need to sign up for. I'm not in the Pro Gamers Guide fan club.
You're not a professional. You're not a big fan. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
One of these days I'll get there.
I had a big fan cooling down my computer this weekend as it was literally melting while doing my big live event.
How'd that go?
So I think by the end of it, it was either a break even or like a 5% into the positive. But with all of this stuff, you learn, you iterate, you attempt bigger, better next time. If there's a, whatever form it may take, continue to learn. So, I try to do really cool and big things and I get in over my head. And I think barring the tech issues, things went okay.
It looked like I was kind of lurking in the background while I was working on things here in the basement. But it looked like a lot of fun and big kudos to you. Big applause. There it is. There's the big applause button to all the work you did. All of your moderators in chat, making sure that things were
moderators are the saving grace, dude.
Especially when we're when you have technical issues like that and whatnot. Like it was very, very good, very, very amazing to see them step up. Like moderators in the Twitch world are the biggest trolls a community can have, but when it matters, when they know they have to step up to help, dude, they are the first ones through that door and they are there to support and hold that streamer up, man. And I got to give it up to your mods for just taking care of business. It was absolutely incredible to see. You gave away the last of the sponsored prizes that I was doing at the end of that. And some schmuck from freaking Canada wins this thing. And I'm going to tell you, I got a bone to pick with you, Brian. This freaking thing in Canada is $200 more than it is here in the States. Just so you know, I'm not happy.
How is that the case?
I don't know. It's disgusting.
No, but I told you could just get the Switch. You didn't have to get the Mario Red Edition. You could get the regular Switch OLED.
Doesn't matter. All of them. For whatever reason, they must be hard to come by in Canada currently or something like that.
No,
all of them are like almost $200 more there for some weird reason. So. We're working it out, but yeah, when I saw that it wasn't somebody in the States that won, and I went,
yeah. So in the future,
just be ready with your Deku tree in September.
So that Switch was either going to go to somebody who was unbelievably grateful for it, or someone who haphazardly, shifts it off to somebody else. So I'd rather have it go to somebody who is very grateful to at least get it. So
yeah,
well, maybe
I offered the person that won said, well, I could just do a gift card if that's easier. But then I found out that this person has not had a new console since the Super Nintendo or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, no, dude, you're getting a Nintendo Switch. Give me a break. Like somebody that hasn't had a new console since the freaking Super Nintendo. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I mean, the Switch OLED it's nice, but if you haven't had a console, especially since then, you could get a regular and then a game to go with it. That's kind of the same value US wise. So
Right.
yeah, you'll figure it out. But like I'm very thankful you put up those prizes and helped along with the partner push. I have some things that I got to get out the door and updates. Actually, I'll update people tonight on some of that stuff. But yeah,
And the Deku Tree stuff starts. They start earning. They start earning points during BobCon, right? And that's at the end of September.
So I did the Brick City Spelling Bee, which was words on stream, and for every level you got 100 points for everybody, and then I actually doubled it afterward, so it was 45,000 Bob bucks that went out right at the end of BobCon. So everybody has a nice head start on things, and then. Yeah, I'm sure more points as we get into the Stand Up to Cancer event happening August 8th through the 18th. Bonuses going out for that, but yeah.
End of August is when the okay.
Yeah,
I gotta make sure I have that down.
Yeah, you will have the funds or the actual set for when it comes out. That is the intention.
Yeah, because I'm winning that. You realize he was talking to me, everybody, right? Like he was talking He's saying you are going to have the funds, or that I'm winning that dang Deku Tree. Me. I want Brian to have to give me a Lego set. That's what I want.
To go in your smog hoard that you have in your walk-in basement closet downstairs?
Well, here's the deal. Now that the wife really saw what all I have, Jaws is my last set that I'm apparently allowed to buy.
Yeah, there you go.
She's like, this is ridiculous, and you're no longer allowed to buy any new sets. So I will have to rely on the kindness of strangers in order to get any kind of new Lego, because she has taken my credit card and I am no longer allowed to buy any kind of Lego to be added to this house. And I kept trying to explain. I was like, look, out of all these sets, the majority of this stack is gift with purchases. It was. I know you make that face, but it was. The majority of that stack was a bunch of gift with purchases. I'm gonna figure that up. I'm gonna go back through my spreadsheet and I'm gonna look up just exactly how many GWPs are in that list of. It was 308 sets unopened, by the way. 308 sets of unopened Lego. I want to go through and see just how many of those were gift with purchases.
So you are not buying anything tomorrow besides Jaws?
Well, here's the problem.
Tick over to the first topic. Let's go.
Here's the problem. August 1st, right around the corner. That's right. Tonight, as of midnight, we're going to get all of the August 1st sets here in the United States. And a lot of these have been on pre-order. And here's my dilemma, is some of these have been on pre-order for so long, I've forgotten what I've pre-ordered. The Lego inventory system on Lego.com is not good. Like, you can't quickly see what you've pre-ordered. You have to go like individual orders, right? And then if you back out of that one order, it like refreshes the whole screen. So then you lose your spot in where you are. So then you start losing where you look, like what pre-order you were looking at or whatever. And the fact that a lot of these pre-order sets came out, staggered, it's hard to remember what you pre-ordered. So
that's when you have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is when you know.
I'm not looking up. I'm not looking. I'm not opening up the account. I'm not looking to see what's coming. It's going to be like Christmas. I'm just going to wait and see what shows up at my door, and then plead the fifth when the wife asks. But the August 3rd is the big day. August 3rd for me, going Saturday morning, buying Jaws. That's the set. I could literally, if anything showed up pre-order, I could literally return everything that showed up pre-order and be completely fine with that, knowing that I walked away with Jaws on the 3rd. Really could. And that's kind of how that's kind of, it may come to that. The wife may be like, But August 1st, we've got more than 75 new sets being released for August here, between August 1st and August 3rd. And it has gone banana. I was trying to track like all that we have. Two Animal Crossings, 4 Batman, 7 City, 2 3-in-1 creators, 1 Disney, 8 Dreams, 5 Duplo. That's right. I even tracked the Duplo sets, Brian. 1 Idea set, 3 Jurassic Worlds, 8 Marvels, 4 Monkey Kids, 5 Ninjagos, 3 Sonics, 8 Marios, 8 Technics, 2 Icons, 1 Minecraft, 2 miscellaneous sets, 2 Speed Champions, and 8 Star Wars. And a partridge in a pear tree. Whoo! I don't even want to know how much that all totals up if you were one of those kind of people that went out and bought all of them. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, how many sets are you buying in August?
Probably 0 or 1.
What about the 8 Mario?
Probably none of it, honestly.
Really?
I have first of all, that Mario that we talked about before from Rebrickable is going to be a thing. Right, that's going to be arriving, hopefully during August, if not September. I have a big Disney trip coming up, which is obviously a lot of stuff going on with that. And I have a lot of stuff already that I don't want to be in possession of, so I want to try to get rid of some more of that stuff. There is only 1 set, 2, maybe 2, 3 right now that like
Duplo?
Really sticks out to. Which one?
It's the Duplo sets, right?
There's only really 3 that I really want sooner than the other things, and get them in and build them live. The 2 Animal Crossing sets. Those are very important to like Animal Crossing in general. And then, although my affinity for Marvel has been swaying, now we seem to be kind of getting back on track. And I have the bug. And not only that, even before all that, the Guardians of the Galaxy Milano was very cool before. And then I've seen some early reviews, and it's just a cool looking ship. And that of all those ships that have come out for Guardians, obviously that is the one I think we can all agree. So those 3 are closest to my buying this. But whereas, the Desert Skiff, I'm waiting until we get the sail barge, and I will probably get both. That'll be like a combo thing. The Mario starter courses, I already have a bunch, but I'm obviously going to get them again because I'm a bozo. And then the other ones, I'm going to build them, enjoy them. They'll be on display for a little bit, but they won't be recurring things. So like I can wait a little while. Maybe during the holidays or all of December, it can just be like building a bunch of Lego as if I'm an 8-year-old, as if I'm not an 8-year-old already. But like, I'm trying to be contrary to what the show is in essence. I'm trying to control myself. I'm trying to, see the big picture. I'm trying to lock in, Zach. We got the Twitch partner stuff happen. It happened. We got to lock in, everybody. For big dreams, big goals, baby. I also want that Walt Disney camera and the mini castle before I go to Disney. That's what I want for a prelude.
You need that especially before they retire, because those are.
I know.
And actually, you could get those at Disney. They tend to have them at the Lego store. They tend to stock everything.
I want to build them beforehand as like a prelude.
Okay.
So, my trip. So, Stand Up to Cancer charity fundraising is 8th through the 18th. Not that I'm doing all those days. And then I leave the 20th. So the intention is to be, on the 17th or whatever that Saturday is. That will be like the Disney day, my final live stream for the event, make a whole thing out of it. And then whatever. So those would be the 2. Because ever since you built that camera, I'm like, man, that's really cool. Really cool.
It's really nice. So it looks perfect with those buildable Mickey and minifigs that are no longer available. My God, that's a set that, if for whatever reason it happened last year, where they happened to they found some on a shelf. They just happened to find them back in a stock room, and they made them available again. Like, if you happen to find those, get those buildable Mickey and minifigs. If you happen to find them, they're very cool sets. Interesting note on the Milano. The minifigs include a baby Groot, not a grown up Groot.
Yeah, it's not timeline accurate because
not timeline
Star-Lord
accurate
has
at
a
all.
mustache,
Yeah.
Compared to the beard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd. The minifigs in general were a little odd. And I as I was pulling things out of my backlog to reorganize and whatnot for the reconstruction we did down here, I noticed, I don't think I ever realized this, but the original Guardian ship that I believe everybody classifies now as the Benatar was labeled as the Guardian ship. And then the Bowie from the last Guardians movie is labeled as the new Guardian ship. So I was hoping that the Milano wouldn't be called the Milano on the box. I wanted it to be called the old Guardian ship, just as a tongue-in-cheek thing. But apparently Lego doesn't share my humor. Milano's definitely it's definitely not on my pre-order list or anything like that. But it's definitely up there. It's a set that I want eventually. I have the other two. I would like to have that. I didn't realize how many different Quinjets I had in my backlog.
This Quinjets, there's been 3 renditions of the Milano, but this Milano is the biggest, and this seems to be the biggest of any of the other ships that have come out. So
right, bigger than right. Because I never had the original. I never had the original Milano. I had the Guardians ship or whatever they called it, right? And then the Bowie. So I think
I've said it before. The Milano was one of the first Lego sets I bought as a freshly minted retail employee. Bought that one, and then the Nowhere Escape, which had the big buildable Groot, which hasn't come out since, and Rocket in it.
That's nice. That's nice. Now there are a ton of things happening in in August or on August 1st, release wise. One that kind of snuck out there, wasn't really announced, wasn't really talked about, just kind of happened. They finally announced this at San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, and they had a display for it, and you could see the minifigs up close and whatnot. But the Onyx Cinder from Star Wars and is a set coming out on August 1st. Couple notes on this. This set, not announced ahead of time, not made available for pre-order ahead of time. People have been able, since this past weekend at least, been able to buy it in stores. They've already had it on shelves. Stores have already, Target and whatnot, have already snuck it out there. But this set is from a property, a Star Wars property, that we have seen zero for at this point. Not a trailer, not behind the scenes material. We saw one promotional image at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim like 3 years ago or something. And that was looked like the promotional material just looked like Jude Law's head superimposed on a body. Like it didn't even look like it was like really his body. Like it was just odd promotional material. We've seen zero about this, and already we're getting a Lego set before we ever get a trailer, before we ever get anything. This is bizarre. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen this before with Lego when it comes to one of the licensed themes that they have, that we've gotten a toy out of them before we've seen any kind of promotional material.
I think we've seen stuff like this before. I can't recall what specifically because my day-old coffee is not hitting the way I want it to. This is what happens when you have a series that, maybe Disney thinks is going to underperform or not resonate or whatever. Lego does not foresee this set in particular doing particularly well. So rather than hang on to it in the warehouse for another year, they're like, well, the cost of holding this onto the warehouse is going to outweigh the sales return we could probably get on this. So we're going to put it on store shelves, but maybe by the time the actual series is coming out, we can put it 20% off and get people that way. This is absolutely sent out to die. There is no way that anybody browsing the aisles of a Target or a Lego store or whatever is going to care about this at all. Hardcore Star Wars fans, obviously, they're geeking out on it. Great. They geek out on everything. No surprise here. Lego is going to get their money no matter what. but this is Lego's way of just sending a set out to die and calling it a day. So I have no opinions on this. I don't even want to acknowledge it because of how indifferent I am to the approach on all of this Star Wars nonsense and this release in general. It's just this set is a complete waste of time, complete waste of money, in my opinion.
Or because of that, because it's a set that's sent out to die, and we probably, I mean, there's a chance that we don't get anything else from it. Is this something that ends up, you know, a few years down the line actually kind of becoming a collector's item because you don't have the same torso pieces, you don't have the same head mold on that alien guy? Like, is that something all of a sudden like, oh, actually that's worth a lot of money because it wasn't, it was sent out to die and they're never going to make it again?
There's enough resellers that are going to probably see the tea leaves on this and think they're going to get a nice return on investment with this and try to make it work. Good luck. Not my forte, but I've seen this before, and I've seen this pattern before, and like people don't buy. Casual people aren't going to buy stuff unless they have some sort of connection to it, and you release something like this, even if it's going to take up more money being in the warehouse for a longer period of time. Release it 6 months before, right? And you're seeing this level of disconnect with Lego, especially here. You have The Mandalorian come out with no product to give people because you just didn't know, you couldn't tell ahead of time how successful it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And then you have something like this where you're banking on it being a thing ahead of time and then totally fumble the bag on it. So if only those roles were reversed, and probably get a much different story here. But
that Mando thing was crazy because a lot of it had to do with Favreau and Filoni keeping Grogu really close to the chest and saying, we're not going to release or not announce or show this baby Yoda, right? And then and then they kept the name. And then they had to keep the name quiet too, right? So they didn't call him Grogu. They called it was the child. So then all of a sudden, poor Disney marketing, man. They had to release everything twice. One with the child printed on the box and one with Grogu printed on the box. That was a crazy mess. That was the I don't know if you call that the tail wagging the dog there or what, but marketing had to be pulling their hair out because of the way Filoni and Favreau handled the secrecy behind that character. And same thing with this. Like it's not, to me, this isn't like an Ecto 1 situation as somebody in our chat pointed out, because Ecto 1, we had a trailer. The movie got delayed because of COVID. But
Ecto 1 is timeless.
And that's
the Ecto 1 set, it came out 30 years after the most two relevant movies have come out. That is not off base at all.
It was based around the new movie with the rust prints and stuff on it and whatnot, but the movie was delayed. But we still had a trailer featuring that car early on, a teaser trailer featuring that car. We've seen nothing on this. Absolutely nothing. Like, we don't know what kind of anything this show is going to be. Like, we've nothing on this at all, other than Jude Law's face. Like, that's it. That's all we've gotten from this. And it's just shocking to me to see them pushing out a set in an already overloaded August when you've got no other marketing material behind it.
You know what they're probably going to do? D23. They're going to put something out.
Comic-Con was the weekend.
No, you can't overshadow Avengers with a Skeleton Crew trailer. Come on.
That's the thing. It's not going to overshadow, but at least they could have pushed. If they're going to debut the set at Comic-Con, at the Lego booth at Comic-Con, at least push out the trailer while you're there too.
But they should have said, "Oh, D23, we're going to have something." I mean, they're going to do something.
An announcement of an announcement.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
But you could literally walk into a Target right now and buy this if you're so inclined. Again, not going to be at the top of my list. I don't know. It's one of those deals. I don't know if I'll ever get this set, but it's one of those things I started to wonder, well, what happens, 5 years down the road when all of a sudden that Jude Law whatever is worth $1 gazillion because nobody ever buy. It wouldn't be the Jude Law one. It'll be that other little alien guy. But who knows if you're gonna.
I will be at peace knowing my hands will never touch that box of Lego.
You know what people are going to go gaga over, though?
Now this I can tell.
Oh,
yes,
baby. The D&D CMFs announced and hitting store shelves and online August 1st here. There will be, box sets made available. The CMFs, the individual boxes were made available for pre-order. The box sets, the ones that come with six figures, are not made available for pre-order. And actually, they weren't even on the website until just recently. But I don't play D&D. I've never played D&D. I've always been fascinated by that type of role-playing game, and I eventually want to learn. I cannot wait for these. I am a sucker for collectible minifigs, stuff where designers get to go crazy and have fun with prints and face prints and body prints and all the accessories that go. I love this stuff. So even not being immersed in the D&D world, I want this so badly. I cannot wait for these to hit store shelves. And of course, it has to be freaking August 1st when they all come out. But my God, how many of these are you buying, Brian? 0. Oh,
gosh. I was over at my friend's house last Tuesday. Last Tuesday. She was like, all right, we're all going to play. We're all going to make our character. And it basically, got the book out, got the sheet of paper out. And I'm like, I just want to sit here and do nothing. So it's just exhausting coming up with a character. It's not something that I have ever done. It takes a lot of time to obviously get into it, even if you do like a one-off situation. These characters look unbelievable, and they each pertain to a class and a particular species. These are masterclass minifigures, like we've gotten in like the majority of the minifigures that have ever come out for Lego collectible minifigure series. So, good luck if you are all about this. You have a wonderful direct-to-consumer set. You have a cool gift with purchase that just got a relaunch as well. And then you have these minifigures. So you are eating good if you are a D&D fan. If they were going to put out all these different crazy characters, then this would be the way to do it. So
yeah.
Cool.
I'm very, very, very excited about these. And I don't know. These actually ship September 1st. They're available for pre-order now, but they ship September 1st. It's just how many, how do you collect? Because once you get one, you got to collect them all, and
do you? I don't think you do.
You do though. You do. These things, they just knock these out of the park. Every one of these collectible minifigure line that they end up doing. I spent a lot of time over the weekend putting all of my minifigs that I have back up on shelves after tearing them all down. I was dusting all of them, and the amount of detail and effort and care that they put into these things is absolutely incredible. And these are going to be a blast to throw in with your D&D sets or your medieval blacksmith house sets or your castle sets or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, you don't even need them as a D&D fan. You can have them as just a fan of Lego, which I've been accused of being.
No, that's just true.
It's fine. This is fine. But hey, you know what? If you're going to spend money, listen, if you're going to spend money on any kind of Lego that's collectible, that embraces your fandom of Lego, man, this is it, because they're not that expensive and they don't take up that much space.
Oh yeah, if you're a D&D fan, you're beyond ecstatic.
I don't think you have to be a D&D fan to appreciate these. I think these are dope regardless.
Trying to think from from like a fantasy perspective, like the kids. Yeah,
you get many strange fantasy type of things in the the different series that we get throughout. I mean, we've gotten orcs and falconers and all this other stuff, in the different series that we have, and people wearing carrot costumes and people wearing cardboard cutouts of robots and things like they've done that. Like they've the precedence has been set that they can create just off the wall stuff for these collectible minifig series. So I think you could wipe the name Dungeons and Dragons off of this and people would still be just as excited if they had released these as a series 27. But the fact that you would attach the Dungeons and Dragons label to it, now you've turned it up to 11. And I am here for it. So that's coming out September. These are hitting, available for pre-order right now. The box set is not available for pre-order, but as of right now and in August, if you have some money after August 1st, you can potentially spend even more and go ahead and pre-order these. And I do believe they would attach themselves to the current gift with purchase candy store, which is a $200 or more. So if you wanted to help raise that dollar amount there, your threshold to get you to that candy store, you could throw in your max amount of which is a limit of 24 currently on the website. So you could buy 20. Brian, you could buy 24 of these right now.
Yeah. You know how much of an awful person I am? I look at that candy store and I'm like, what a snooze fest of a gift with purchase. Who cares? It looks so boring. It looks so diminutive and uninteresting. And obviously, it's not a knock on the person who worked on it and put it into production at all. I'm just saying the concept of like, hey, that and the execute, like,
it's a micro build. I'm all for it. I think the threshold is too high. I think $200 is way too high for that. That's what I
want to meet the person. I want to meet the person that woke up and is like, you know what? I'm going to go out of my way. Not what's already on the list and what, I'm going to go out of my way because I want that candy store. I want that for me. This is for me. I want to meet that person.
I mean, that should fit right in. I think there was a flower shop GWP recently. And so it'll fit right in with all of those other ones. And that's, again, for me, micro builds, I love seeing how they can utilize, how designers can utilize micro builds and still establish what it's supposed to look like. So I'm all for it. I just think $200 is way too hefty of a price threshold to get. 100, yes, 100 would be fine, fantastic, but I think Lego's looking at it saying we have so many pre-orders available that you're going to hit that threshold if you pre-order your stuff anyway. So I think they attach that $200 price tag to it because of the pre-orders that are currently available. I just think it's too much for what it is. What they could charge anything for at this point though is Fortnite Lego sets. That's right, we finally have them. Brian.
Took a year.
Brian. Yeah. I don't want to say too little too late. Is it just too late? Because what they released looks great. The battle bus looks great. The figures included with the battle bus look great. The llama looks like a bore fest to me. I don't think I want to put that thing together. The Peely is an interesting concept. And I'll get into all these here in a second, but and then the Der Burger is another interesting. Here's what happened. I went to my biggest Fortnite expert I know, my son, my 12-year-old, who's obsessed with that game. I said, "What do you think of these?" And he looked at the battle bus, and he said, "I don't want that one." I said, "Why not?" And he goes, "I think it looks too complicated to build." So he's looking at it saying, just telling you, he's like from a child's perspective, he's looking at it saying the battle bus looks maybe too complicated to build. I don't think it will be. The Peely, he said, makes no sense. He's like, that's such a one-off. He goes, that's such a one-off thing. I don't understand why they chose that one as a display thing. He was the most excited about that stupid little Der Burger. But said they should have made, he goes, they should have made that like a modular thing where you could have actually had the whole restaurant. Like he had strong opinions about these, and the llama, he said, was a bore fest. He's like, I don't get that one either. he had very strong opinions about these Fortnite sets from a kid's perspective, and I thought that was fascinating to see. From an adult perspective, what do you say, Brian?
I've played a lot of Fortnite. That's an understatement, by far. I'm very familiar in my years. The Peely Bone is definitely weird as a one-off. I think this is Lego having their way at, on Lego Ideas, we've had this concept of the half minifigure, half organs and skull and whatever. This is for you. You want this? You're not going to get it. This is what we can do. Because there have been, skeleton themed character skins and variants and whatever. You have Peely. I think it's weird for an 18 plus. I agree with him on that one. I don't think you needed to make this an 18 plus. Like, I don't see any fully formed brained adult going into the Lego store and thinking, oh yeah, I want this in my 1-bedroom apartment in Soho. Like, that is not who this is for. So if it's not for them, I don't know what kid would want to build it. The Durr Burger is the perfect. I'm going to Declan's 3rd birthday and I need to buy them a Lego set and I'm not spending a lot of money. That's what I'm buying them. Mm-hmm. That is perfect. At $15, no modular, a $300 modular of Durr Burger, that ain't going to sell. That is going to fly off shelves because it looks dumb, which is intentional. It is minimalist, which is intentional. It is under $20, very intentional. $193, it's fairly chunky size. Perfect for the kids. Supply llama has to happen. Absolutely had to happen at that scale. Couldn't have been any more expensive than that. You need the thing that's going to go on somebody's gaming shelf. That is the quintessential Fortnite thing. That is essentially the mascot, in my opinion, of Fortnite. That is not a main character. It is the supply llama, the loot llama. It has to happen at that scale. You could have even made a $150, $200 one, and it would have been, I think, just as justified as I think your Ultimate Collector Series, whatever.
18 plus makes sense.
That would be very cool. I agree.
You could have had just a weird Peely thing versus that. Yes. I think that would have been better.
You could have had a loot crate that goes along with it, some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Zach, the Battle Bus. The Battle Bus is a perfect Lego set. 10 out of 10. Couldn't have done it any better if you tried. $100, 954 pieces, 9 minifigures, unique molds, printing, iconic characters from the franchise. It's impossible for you to do it better. For everything that Lego does with all their different themes and the Fortnite tax that's probably on these, this set should not exist, and yet it does, and it's perfect. It is just the level of complicated that it needs to be. If it were any more expensive, it would not sell. If it were any cheaper, you wouldn't be doing it justice. You could have even included less minifigures in this and it would have been totally fine. This is perfect in every way, shape, and form. I'll be getting this one eventually.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Battle Bus out of all of them is the one that, number one, we expected to see. But I didn't expect. I thought it was going to be probably double the pieces and bigger, and for way more money than $100. And the fact that it's $100 with 9 minifigs is amazing.
And they all fit in that bus.
This is, to me, for Fortnite, what that new Star Destroyer set coming out here in August for the one that like opens up the playset one. To me, that was like a perfect Star Wars Lego set. This is a perfect Fortnite set. That's what this is. And
perfect.
I trust me, I was taken aback a little bit when my son said, I think that looks too complicated, because I think he thinks it's bigger than what it is. And I think he thinks that it's, more intricate, more of like that 18 plus style build where it's more pieces than
definitely not.
And it's not. And I think when he realizes that, he'll be more inclined to get something like this and have it. But I think he kind of looked at the pictures and thought, complexity wise, he thought it was going to be a little bit out of his wheelhouse. I think this. I'm with you. I think this is a perfect. I think the Battle Bus is an absolute perfect set. I think the llama should have been your 18 plus set, not this Peely. And it was almost like they had the llama and they were like, we need to come up with an 18 plus. I'm just the Peely thing. I just don't get. I don't get this. The only thing that this Peely set has done has inspired me to want to figure out how you do this with that Star Wars Chewbacca. I want a Chewbacca that you split in half, and I want half a Chewbacca in bone structure with his guts hanging out, and half of him with the with his fur on him.
I'd rather have a full version of the banana dude of Peely. I don't want the skeleton.
I don't either. And that was my son. My son was like, "This is like a one-off. They did this for Halloween, like and he may be wrong, but like he's right. Yeah, he's like, I don't understand why they chose. He just kept saying it. I don't understand why they chose this. That's all he just kept saying. But for him, he would be over the moon if somebody went out for his birthday and got him that Der Burger set. You know what I mean? He just, in his mind though, he wanted more, like with the Der Burger. Like he was like, I want the restaurant. Like that was what he said. I want the full place. I want to be able to take my battle bus and have some little modulars, and I want to be able to set up my Fortnite town and have, battles with them. And I don't think he's wrong. I think there's still a level there that could potentially happen for Fortnite. I don't think this is where the line stops. I think this is just the beginning.
No. And this is like a 5-year plan right here. This is day one. So look forward to it, and you'll see even more unique minifigures with the printing, with the blah 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 blah. So if you're all about it, then prepare the wallet, man, because there are, I want to say, at least 1,000 skins in Fortnite across all the different themes.
Well, right, and part of the problem is part of their 5-year plan took a year to get started. So I think it's I'm still shocked in October. And maybe again, this is October, and they may have more stuff hanging back for October. It's not. I mean, we're a day away from August right now. They still may have more planned for that, a la collectible minifigs in October potentially, or maybe by the end of the year. I think that's the next logical step for them is a CMF series of these Fortnite characters, because there's so many skins that they can just and they're already designed and they're already in the game. Like they're already in Lego form in the game. So get them printed, get them out on shelves. Let's get them out there before the Christmas holidays so people can spend their hard-earned cash on collecting all these Fortnite things.
A topic for a future show. Now that Fortnite is out and officially a Lego theme, to me, that was the last very, very obvious intellectual property that Lego could tackle, but hadn't yet. So now that that's done, what's left?
Ooh.
What's obvious? I'm not talking Golden Girls. What's obvious?
Well, yeah, because you got to look at not just video games, but movies and television,
everything,
stuff like that. Yeah, it's
Bluey. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Yup.
Bluey would be because Peppa.
That has Duplo.
Yeah, Peppa's Duplo, right? So, and that's the thing is, where do you put it? Do you put a Bluey in Duplo? Do you put a Bluey in normal system builds?
Bluey, you have to do it in Duplo. Even though the adults are ravenous over it.
That's the thing. Adults ain't watching Peppa, but adults be watching some Bluey, man. So.
Yeah, but you can't give the regular Lego to a little kid. You can't do it. You can't. It's like literally a safety hazard. Like,
yeah,
it has to be Duplo.
Then they rate it higher, and the smaller kids don't get it until they grow up or something. I mean, look, I was collecting sets when my son was 10 months old for him to be able to use later on.
But clearly from this podcast, we know you're the problem, child.
Listen,
okay?
Listen.
You're not the target demographic.
Just give me Daniel Tiger and Duplo, and then give me Bluey in a system build. That's all I need.
Let's talk about something fun.
Let's talk about something super fun. Let's talk about Mario, another video game property. This just dropped. Mario and Yoshi from the Super Mario World, in the pixel style that we've come to know and love from that Mario World game. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, as the resident Mario fan, how are we feeling about this set?
Upon looking at it without any video, I'm like, just kind of on it. Didn't really have much of an opinion because obviously the motion here is key, just like with the NES, right? And kind of like Bowser in a weird way. They had it at San Diego Comic-Con, so they showed some people, actually turning the crank and everything moves. So for those that are listening or may not be watching attentively, it is Mario on Yoshi, and as you are moving the crank on the side of the entire system, the legs on Yoshi move. One of the legs on Mario moves a little bit. The cape moves, right? So it's basically as if Mario's riding Yoshi in the animated style of the game. It looks good. It looks good as like a display piece. It looks good as a Ultimate Collector Series thing. It's obviously not what I want, but like Lego with Mario specifically has continued to do something you can never predict. You can never predict this if you gave me 100 years on this planet. Like, you can get out of prison once you predict what Lego's doing next with Mario. I'm going to be there for life. I'm done. Like, there's no shot I'm getting out. My biggest gripe with this set, you have everything that moves. And then one of those moving features is Yoshi has his tongue come out when his nose opens and tongue comes out. And it looks like a really cool, like when everything's going together, it's great. It's two separate systems to move everything else. And then it's one system to move everything except a separate knob to have the tongue pop out of Yoshi's mouth. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why they couldn't have linked the two to have everything move at once. And I think having it where you have to be two-handed in order to see the full motion of the thing. So you have your arm over here on one side, which is fine. You're seeing the whole thing move. And then you have to wrap your you have to adjust your left arm to go to the side of the crank and move it haphazardly, and then go around to the back and have it is such a miss that I would have changed the integrity of the design to make it so everything could move on one crank rather than having two separate cranks on two separate portions of the build. It makes no sense at all, and I think it totally kills the whole motion aspect of it. And I am very curious to see which fan is going to take it upon themselves to make everything united and just moving in one go, because that kills it for me. Kills it. And obviously the back looks atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you'll ever see it from the front, but it looks atrocious.
Right.
So
yeah, displayed on a shelf. It's an interesting pixel style, set. It's almost so perfectly pixelated because of what the reference material is. It almost won't translate into Lego. Like, it doesn't look like, when you look at it, I don't know how many people are going to be able to look at it and say right out of the gate that it's Lego, which sometimes I enjoy.
But,
I enjoy people, they see the typewriter, they don't realize the typewriter's Lego. I think
it's with the NES and the Atari too.
Right. Yeah. The Nintendo's really cool. The Atari's really cool that way. This is what I've seen with demos of this set. And until we get our physical hands on it, we don't know. Because of the two system thing and having to use two hands to do it, what I've seen is the thing wobbles a lot. Like, you can't crank both without it starting to tip on you and potentially break because of that. So what I've seen is people doing it and having literally a third hand holding it still because it's sliding around. What is the structure behind there? Why couldn't they make it work? Somebody's going to figure out how to do this. We shouldn't have to. you know, if you're spending $130 on a 15.5-inch high set, like you shouldn't have to modify it to make it.
I would have scrapped this whole. I would have scrapped the whole thing if you couldn't move it on one crank. I'm like, nah, you gotta scrap it.
Right. And it should. And honestly, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, did they rush it out? Did they feel like they rushed it out?
It's 15.5 inches tall.
15.5 inches high, 10 inches wide, 4 inches deep.
Kind of, you know, I mean, that's pretty. You can't really. Y'all have no frame of reference, but that, I mean, that's pretty big.
It's big. It's really big, and I think that's the deal. I don't think there's a lot of weight behind it because the pieces themselves are relatively, you know, smaller plates and things like that. But I think what I've seen people try to crank both of these things so you can get the mouth to move and the legs and everything all at the same. What I've seen is it continues because of the force they're putting on it. It wants to tip forward or slide away from you, right? So then all of a sudden I've seen people have to literally put their hand in front of it, another hand in front of it to hold it still while they do both the mechanics. We shouldn't have to modify it. We shouldn't have to wait on somebody to figure out how to modify it. You yourself shouldn't have to figure out how to modify this set to do it. Because eventually what's going to happen is somebody's going to create a motor system for the back of this thing that moves both levers at the same time, and you turn it on with a power switch with the power up features, right? Like that's what they're going to do. I haven't seen any utilization yet of the electronic Mario figures with this set. Maybe you have, but
no, the Piranha Plant also did not have anything.
Piranha Plant did not have anything. And I was wondering when the Piranha Plant came out and it didn't have that, I started to wonder, are they going away from that? But then they doubled down with it on the Mario Kart stuff. So now I'm like, okay, you twirl your little thing. I think having that connection on Bowser and the question mark block and the Nintendo,
it's very cool.
It's very cool. It's an added bonus for that stuff. And I think having
I was twirling because they're tripling down on the figures.
Oh, gotcha. But I think having those features available would be nice. I just don't see it in here. And yeah, the back is absolutely atrocious. But most people, you're not going to display it from, you know, honestly from the back. The question mark block was neat because you could literally turn the thing around and it was a cube. Like that was really, really cool. You know, the Piranha Plant, you know, honestly, it is what it is. This may be one of the first ones I pass on. I'm not, I'll tell you what, if I had $130, I would rather put it towards that Mario 64 that you're building, the rebricked version of it.
Yeah.
If I had $130, which is what this is going to cost US, I would rather take that money and apply it to that other set and have something a lot more substantial and
really
that
cool,
shows better on a shelf than this. I tried to find so many different ways to like this set, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It's not for me. And it has nothing to do with me not being as big of a Mario fan as some other people. It's just because I have all the other Nintendo ones. I have all those other 18 plus Nintendo sets. And this may be one of the ones that I miss out on because I just don't get it. I don't understand it. So, and especially at $130, I don't understand this. So
I'll have it because I'm a sucker, but you know me.
You going to modify it? Are you going to be looking at a way to potentially modify
never.
this?
You kidding me? Oh no, I'm not dedicating the time to that. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could modify the base and weigh it down so it maybe doesn't tip. But should you have to? No. That's the whole point. You should not have to, you know, modify these sets if you don't want to be able to utilize all of the stuff that they're supposed to be able to do. You shouldn't have to. And I haven't seen anybody use this set yet being able to utilize both features at the same time and not have a third hand there bracing it from somebody. But who knows? Not for me. maybe for you, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Man, we got a big day tomorrow coming up with August 1st and all these new sets coming out, and you know, a little bit of a reprieve in September, but we'll still have things like the Deku Tree. We'll still have things like these Dungeons and Dragons CMFs hitting in September, but then October rolls around and already they're starting to trickle out with these October sets, and it could be a major push for the end of the year for people's wallets, and you're only going to have about
for your wallet, not mine. I'm safe.
You're safe. Well, you've probably got you know, the sale barge you said is on your docket, and that should probably be hitting around October, November.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna like get it immediately unless, you know, we sell an influx of Pro Gamers Guide and I can get a nice little Christmas gift to myself. But like otherwise, you know, I still have plenty of stuff that like I am in possession of that I would rather not be, and you know, finding ways to make that happen, trades and all that. That is more of a priority for me. And then, you know, end of year, like what I've always wanted to do, and I've never had a chance to do it because stuff either shows up early through magical means or whatever. But I would rather like go into the Lego store with a bunch of stuff out, everything's in stock, and just drop a fat stack of cash when I'm able to. I'm talking like, you know, $2,000 after saving up for however long. Like there's the Fecto family in the chat. They did that. They're like, yeah, we're going to save all the energy. We're just going to do one big trip and we're going to build everything over the course of however long. And I'm like, yeah, like I want that, and make like a big event out of it selfishly. And then maybe live stream building and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. Like, you know, November 1st, do all that or something for ahead of Christmas time. But you know, we'll see.
Tax return, what's that? Somebody has to file their taxes before they can ever think about a return. I haven't seen a tax return in 10 years.
Yeah, ever. Yeah, neither have I, as I've been Bricks O'Brien and all that. No, if we get a tax return, if we get a return, that's bad.
That's bad. That's something's wrong.
Yeah,
something happened. Something happened with a number.
You will get a notice within the next 18 months.
Yeah, a decimal point got moved. If you get a tax return, you might as well just, you know, send it right back, because you don't really get that money.
No.
Oh, welcome to the world of self-employment and, you know, being an owner of a business. It's not going to be one of those things. But I get you, that you want to be one of those guys that walks out of the store holding those giant big yellow bags, and you know, you see everybody else in line staring at you as you walk out with your Lego sets, which I will be doing on Saturday, on August 3rd. I'm going to be lining up at my local Lego store in the morning and buying Jaws, and immediately coming back, going live on Twitch. I believe it's set for 12 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to be building Jaws live on Twitch until we finish that set. I don't know how long it's going to take, but that is, by God, what we are going to be doing. And I can't wait, man. Jaws is near.
Can you do me a favor before you do all that and stuff? Actually, now that we're here, we're talking about this publicly. Can you just create your Stand Up to Cancer charity campaign for Stand Up? Can you just do that so we can mark you off the list, because that's also coming up very, very soon. Yes. And I don't want you to get it distracted any further, Mr. Rutledge.
I will do that. I will do that later today when I am off of Twitch, because I've got something else happening on Twitch today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, where I'm going to be running my portion of Camp Chaos, and that Art and Jest has been spearheading on Twitch. So lots of things cooking. But yeah, I need to do the thing. It's been a wild month, and it's on a checkbox. It's on a checklist.
Good
to do. I need reminders. I need text messages, reminders of these things. You guys, they have a wonderful Discord that they put all this stuff in. You know how many times I check Discord?
Well, I haven't started badgering people. Today is when badgering begins. So, yeah.
Mr. Badgers Mr. Badger O'Brien, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show for today. Thank you guys so much for being here for Z&B Live Unfiltered. Quick programming note, starting next Wednesday, it's not going to be 10 a.m. Eastern anymore. It's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. on Wednesdays, live here on YouTube. 11. Change your calendars, change your notes. 11 a.m. Eastern time every Wednesday that you can catch us after the fact on all the podcast formats like Spotify, Apple. Do all those things. Thank you for hitting those like and subscribe buttons here on the YouTube channel. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, thank you so much for, once again, another magnificent, magical show. I appreciate you. We'll see him live later on Twitch, I believe. And yeah, you'll see me later live on Twitch, 1 p.m. Eastern time for Camp Chaos. Thank you so much, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Bye.